Welcome back. If you've just joined us, you're watching the news at 10, broadcasting on Channels Television live from Lagos. A quick reminder of our main stories now. Infrastructure development projects in Lagos State receive a boost. Federal Executive Council approves $200 million World Bank loan for the state. Controversy persists in the upper legislative chamber over the 2016 budget said to be missing. Senate investigates allegations of missing documents. Chairman, CEO of Channels Television advocates synergy between the media and military towards national security. 2 French pupils and tourists are killed after an avalanche sweeps away school children on a skiing trip in the French Alps. Do remember that all our top stories can be found on our website. It's channelstv.com and on youtube.com/channelsweb. Visit m.channelstv.com to view us live on your mobile device. You can also download the Channels TV app for Android, iOS and Windows phones from their respective stores. When you're done downloading, we do urge you to please interact with the Channels Eyewitness feature on our Android, iOS and Windows platforms. If you've got pictures or videos you'd like to share with us, simply tap on the Channels TV app on your device, swipe to reveal the Eyewitness menu and follow the instructions. I will now bring you some of the pictures that you sent to our Eyewitness portal. And first is this one from Yenagoa in Bayelsa State, showing refuse all over the street. Our Eyewitness reporter wants the sanitation authorities to look into this. Next is this one from Lafia in Nasarawa State, showing vehicles involved in an accident. Our Eyewitness reporter says that one of them is a military vehicle and is asking authorities to check the excesses of uniformed men on our roads. We also have this one from Warri in Delta State, showing a fire incident. Our Eyewitness reporter says was caused by an electric spark. He wants residents to be more cautious when handling electrical appliances. And finally is this one from Atisbo in Oyo State, showing a raised farm. Our Eyewitness reporter says that the farm on fire was set on fire by headsmen. The residents of the area are asking the government to call the headsmen to order. And we do thank you so much indeed for sending in those pictures, as we ask that you keep them coming. We'll also like to bring an important information to our viewers, that some mischievous people have created a counterfeit Channels Television's Twitter account, thereby putting up content and information that we, as a credible, responsible media organization, will not disseminate. We urge our followers on Twitter to look out for the verified sign on our Twitter handle @ChannelsTV. That will be @ChannelsTV, so as to follow or get information on our social media platforms.
Followership of over 2 million people across board and social media. Channels Television clearly stands tall amongst other news networks in sub-Saharan Africa. However, some fraudsters in trying to convert the name to numbers have created a parody Twitter account, sending tweets that do not represent the ideology of the multiple award-winning television station. And here is the difference between the original Channels TV account and the mirrored. Verification sign, number of followers, URL to website, date joined, and kind of tweets. Channels Television henceforth urges its followers to watch out for the verification sign beside the social media accounts, number of followers, and responsible posts from any of our social media platforms. Channels Television henceforth urges its followers to watch out for these features on any of our social media platforms. From a gargantuan online location, Victor Matthias, Channels Television News.
The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, the EFCC, will tomorrow arraign former Nimasa boss and an ex-militant government Ekpemopolo, popularly known as Tompolo, before a federal high court in Lagos. The two men, according to the anti-graft agency, will be standing trial over a 40-count charge of alleged money laundering, conspiracy, stealing and diversion of funds. The EFCC says that 4 other people will be arraigned alongside Mr. Akpobolokemi and Mr. Ekpemukpolo for allegedly diverting the sum of 34 billion naira, which is said to have been accrued from the public-private partnership agreement between NIMASA and a company known as Global West Vessels Specialist Limited for personal use. Meanwhile, the EFCC says that it has also secured an order of the Federal High Court to serve the count summons on charges for Mr. Ekpemukpolo, alias Tompolo, by substituted means, as the subject, according to the anti-graft agency, has continuously evaded service. A divided house, or so it seems, with the emergence of 2 factional leaders from the movement for the actualized survival of an Ogoni people. One faction claims it's the real faction of Masop, while another insists that their election was done under the watchful eyes of the Ogoni traditionals too. Our correspondent Emmanuel Ere reports.
This is Korokoro community in Toi local government area in Rivers State. One of the areas the people says was hit by oil exploration in Ogoni land. Leaders of the Supreme Council of Ogoni traditional rulers join a group of members of the movement for the survival of Ogoni people for the inauguration of an executive for the group.
This year we shall be favored.
At this level of time, the Ogoni people should be reasonable enough to know their leaders. So they want to.
A round of applause for the president and movements of the
Today marks the beginning of a new frontier for the rapid economic and social development of Ogoni. My leadership will explore new ways to making these sacred days truly a global discourse.
However, this man tells Channels Television that his emergence as president of the group is unquestionable.
The truth is that we have those who perhaps feel aggrieved, largely because they felt we suspended them from the organization sometime last year, and all they want to do is to cause confusion.
He says the ultimatum given to the federal government has no political undertone.
The same people who raising concerns now were the same people who were supporting us, applauding us when that was done.
Some youths believe the path of peace is the way to go.
I am advising all our Ogoni youths to stand by peace. We've lost enough people. Manpower, we've lost them. Capable hands, we've lost them. We've lost our leaders. And we are saying no to violence this time around.
Many say both parties should iron out their differences. For now, the people can only hope for the fast track of the cleanup exercise. Emmanuel Ere, Channels Television News.
Moving on to other stories now, the plight of the Almajiri peoples on the streets of Kaduna State may soon get reprieve as the Kaduna State government has introduced measures aimed at addressing the menace, which has become an embarrassment not only to the state, but also to security threats to the entire northern region. One of such measures is to get the Almajiri peoples integrated into formal basic education with an offer of free tuition and meals. Our community report examines the plight of Almajiri children in Kaduna State and the state's intervention to solve the problem.
Now you're talking.
I want to be a soldier.
Little Abubakar Umar is 7 years old. He's a student of the Almajiri Islamic School. Abubakar's dream of becoming a soldier to join in the war against Boko Haram is crumbling as his only hope of survival is on the streets. He says he has lived with other children at the Islamic school for over 4 years, but are sent out to beg for alms every day by their teacher, known as Malam. Abubakar and other children in the Islamic school cry out for help.
Ina son ya taimaka mana gurin gudanar da ba da ilimi na ƙasa a Najeriya. Ina son shugaban ƙasa ya zama mai albarka.
For Tajuddin Ajibade, he was once an Almajiri pupil. He says the Almajiri system, which was designed for moral upbringing of the children, has now been exploited and neglected.
People have started using them for a different thing entirely. They are ordinarily beggars. And this is the truth of the matter. It has been alleged that some people are using those little kids, send them out in the morning, and in the evening they come and carry them back and take whatever money they make.
The search for knowledge is something that the Islamic religion encourages, but it's unfortunate that within the context of a discussion, you find that a lot of children, especially underage children, you see them wandering. They come to the cities in the guise of coming to learn Islam or Arabic, but unfortunately they end up becoming street urchins, becoming a nuisance.
Although the former President Jonathan's administration had established some model Almajiri schools across the Northwest, but the number of out-of-school male children roaming the streets are increasing. The ugly situation has prompted the Kaduna state government to set up an intervention plan that would integrate the Almajiri into formal basic education, with the introduction of tuition-free basic education and free meals.
This free education and making the free meal in schools will attract over 50 to 60% of the Almajiris back to the conventional primary schools for learning. At the moment, we are looking at all the policies. There's the federal policy and the state policy we inherited, and we are drafting a new policy in consultation with our partners. That's the SPIN, UK8 partners, SPIN and USAID. We are looking at it and we are trying to write a comprehensive program for proper integration of the Almajiri students into Western education.
As it stands, the future of the children in the current Almajiri system desperately needs a lifeline to get their dreams back on track.
Now you're talking. Still ahead on the news at 10, Chairman and CEO of Channels Television advocates more military-media partnership to promote national security, plus business news. That's when we come back. Join us again.